Hi, welcome to the Vulnerable Scientist podcast. This is your host, Sarah Nyakeri. So, on this episode, it was supposed to be Why I Love Being a Scientist podcast. Then, while having a conversation with Milcah, I felt like I should share that with her. And then we had a conversation surrounding that, and she shared her views of what she thought about the list. And I loved that I can put this out there the way it is without having a solo podcast on that episode. So enjoy! Today I wanted to do a podcast and I wrote some things down. Today I was feeling low and I wrote some things down that I was like, why am I doing this? Do I really love being a scientist? Do I really love research? Just to find the positive side of things, because sometimes, you complain so much and you don't actually appreciate those low moments sometimes, and they really add value in ways that you don't see. So I wrote... I think I'll just read it out and
yes,
and you just comment on that. Then we finish this podcast. Okay. So why I love being a scientist. The first one was I don't have to wear official clothes.
Amen.
Oh my God, that response.
It's true.
Oh my God, that's funny. I don't have to do the same thing for a long time. I am naturally curious. I love answering questions that have not been answered before. I love helping people by providing solutions. I love the independence of work, planning my time. Troubleshooting problems that come with research is challenging and not boring at all, but who doesn't love a challenge? Number 8, trying and creating new protocols and methods is awesome. Searching, hacking, printing, and reading papers to find ideas is the best. Number 10, using bioinformatics skills to try something on the computer before applying it in the lab is, I don't know, just from whatever I've said, you can get it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the last one.
I agree with all of them. There's only one place where you and I differ. Reading papers.
Which one?
Reading papers. It's not my favorite part of my science. It will not make it to the list. If I could, I've always debated that, and I've always thought it would be so nice if I can just watch a paper as a movie. Like if we were allowed to shoot a movie of how we did it, the results we got, and what this meant, I would love that way of communicating science. Papers, I do not. I have to write them, right? But I don't like them. What?
Do you know, I've been thinking about that. Like, actually, this is one of the main reasons I started science media, and that's the idea. Although it didn't it doesn't come to there, but that's what I was thinking. I was just like, if you could make music out of what we've done, just to communicate what is happening, or if you could do like YouTube videos of presenting results YouTube from introduction to conclusion.
I honestly, this is my honest opinion, is that we chose one of the most boring ways to communicate science, which is insanely, exciting. But paper,
it should change.
That wasn't the best. To me, it's not the best way to communicate science, honest. I think we lose so much. If you think of how many papers exist, it's just a well of, a sea of papers. And I think there were other ways of communicating that science that would have been more effective than papers. I do not enjoy that part of my job. But even everything else you said. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even before I started this podcast, actually, the idea was I didn't know much about podcasts before this. Some time back, like I don't know, I didn't really appreciate podcasts. Then when I was reading, the time that I was now trying this company and trying to see how to communicate science to a lay audience better, and there's this reading that comes to it that you can't just copy paste what someone else has written. You have to go deep into the paper and understand the paper, then communicate that. It was so boring. And I hated that I have to, find ways on how to get a paper that is under lock and key. And one thing I was thinking, I was like, what if like someone just did an audio of a paper so that I can just listen?
I just want to listen, and they can, I can tell the excitement in their voices or the disappointment in their voices. There are ways, like we have more tools to communicate science. Like I would definitely listen to a podcast. Like if someone publishes and then they do a podcast about that paper, I'm definitely going to listen to the podcast, right? Like it's so easy to get so many things just by listening anyway, like that's one of the things I've always felt. If something should change, it should be this needs to change.
And how it went into doing the Vulnerable podcast thing is when I was going through a tough period. Okay, I'm still in that period, but I'm choosing positivity over looking at the negative part of it. But when I was going through that,
awesome.
Yeah, when I was going through that low period is when I started talking to people, just even someone who's not doing anything related to what I'm doing. Maybe they're doing epidem work, and I just go to them and just rant. Or I just say, I did this gel, it worked today, I had a band. Then tomorrow I just ran from the same tube, it didn't work, and I don't know why it didn't work. And I just complain to them, or someone just finds me maybe in a machine doing something and I look like disappointed, and they're like, okay, what's going on? And even if they don't understand what's going on and they don't even have a solution, they've never used the machine, but just listening to my worries made me feel better. And they started communicating. They want to feel, they make you want to feel that you're not alone, so they tell you their stories of how the things have not worked in the past, and just having that communicating and feeling like, oh my God, everybody's going through a tough period. They're walking through these corridors looking nice, and it's like things are working, but they're actually not working sometimes. And just knowing that will make me laugh. Like these days when I see someone maybe produce a sound that shows that they've been supported with something, or they've mixed something, or just something has not worked, or they have a sad face. Sometimes I just laugh because I feel like, oh my God, we can so much relate. It feels nice to feel like there's someone else who's feeling the same way I'm feeling sometimes, and that made me feel better. So I was like, what if these papers, because I've been reading papers, now I'm doing a transformation. Now I'm going, I'm going with
nice.
talking. So I had these
continue.
papers. Okay, thanks. I had read these papers, and they're saying this transformation works. You try this method, and I copy paste everything just to see if the method works, and it doesn't work. And you see one of the papers that are more honest. They're like, this thing we tried how like 200 experiments, and how many experiments out of that worked. You're like, I'm complaining. Mine so far 1 out of 10 has worked, and I'm complaining. And for them, it took this long, and they still didn't get results, but they still published. They were able to publish something. I'm like, wow! I wish all these papers could say which one was working and which one was not working. I wish they could say which one was not working. Why it was not working, why they think
how many they tried before that they found the one that was working, because often you find that you're trying those other ones as well, and then you're getting frustrated. And it would be easier if someone just says, you know what, we also did it. There are people who do that, and I appreciate when they do that. But it's true, and unless you try a protocol, like that's when you realize, there are some missing things happen.
Hey, me have anyway.
Yeah.
So I think for me, when I was writing that, just to go back to what you didn't like about my things, my list is
What did I
was
didn't
trying
identify with?
I was trying to see. I have a lot of and just under my bed where I'm seated right now. I have a list, a huge pile of papers, all the mycoplasma based
Oh my gosh.
papers, and small chunks of highlighted parts in them. And I was, people will see my desk and be like, "Ay, Sarah, unasoma sana," and I'd be like, but now I'm like, let me just look at it in a good angle, just searching for that paper, and you get that paper and you find it is under lock and key. Then you're able to use maybe some like Sci-Hub, for example, then print that paper, then see the way the paper just turns out. Maybe it's an old paper, it has a very bad font, or just appreciating the font that they publish. Just those tiny small things.
Yeah, that's true actually. That's
because there's nothing I can do right now. It is already in papers form, and I have to publish also a paper. So just trying to see the positive side of things.
The positive side, that is very true. And I really like your list. It's very comprehensive actually. I do love the management of time, and one of the things I identified with the most was when you say that you do not do. It's like you have a new problem to solve every time. Like it doesn't get routine for long. It's short, and then now you have a new problem. I love that. I love solving problems on a small scale every day. Being able to, now we need to figure out how to do this, and then finding a way around it or through it. And also just in the bigger scale of things, just knowing that my work is actually it's contributing towards improving someone's life, or making someone's process or something easier to do than it was yesterday. That's amazing. I really like your list. It's and the data part, I love data mining. Now I don't do much of it, but I miss being able to just pull data from NCBI and just run something on it and analyze. I do less of it now, but I miss that. It was awesome.
Do you want to start your own podcast? Start with some simple gear that you already have and a quiet space. Simple gear includes a microphone, editing software, and host of your podcast. Simple microphones include the ones on your phones and computers, or a simple recorder, which you can upgrade later. For the editing software, I use Audacity, which is free and simple to use. Buzzsprout, which over 1,000 other fellow podcasters like me use, is one of the podcast hosting providers you can use. Buzzsprout has helped me link my show on every major podcast platform. With the endless number and regularly updated tutorials and good customer service support Buzzsprout offers, my podcasting journey has been made easy. Following the link in the show notes, let Buzzsprout know we sent you. Gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and helps support our show.